Hello YouTubers, it's Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly video. And this weekly video is that once a month experience where we go ahead and show you everything I got at my local club meet, which is always quite a haul. And this time is really no exception. I don't know, right off the bat, I don't know what stuff we're going to open up in the second segment, so I'm kind of going to decide that as we go along. But let's just, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what I picked up. We're going to start with this guy right here. This is a Miho exclusive Mini GT TSM model, limited to 4,800 pieces, Liberty Walk Nissan GTR in a matte white. And this thing looks absolutely fantastic. I am really excited to get this casting out. I didn't have another example of this tooling at all, so I am pumped to get this thing out of the package and take a look at it. So we are definitely going to look at this in the second segment, and that was from my buddies SC Diecast. A lot of this stuff actually was from them, including these two Greenlight SD trucks. I had to pick these two up just because I think they're new toolings. The refuse truck might have been out one other time, I don't know for sure. But we will take a look at these two massive castings in the second segment of this video for sure. So this refuse truck I picked up, and then this Mack Anthem Highway Long Haul, which I thought was really cool to see a semi in there. And we'll definitely go ahead and open up both of those and take a look at those in the second segment. So those are from SC Diecast. From a local buddy John, or from John who's in the group, he hooked me up with this California Custom Ferrari Testarossa. We will go ahead and peek at that in the second half of the video for sure. We got some Greenlight here. Oh, one more Mio exclusive Mini GT, and we're also going to open up this in the second segment for sure. This is the McLaren Senna. I already have the one that is in the blue. It's like a weird colored blue, and now I got the one in this brighter orange. So we will definitely check that out in the second segment. These are limited to 4,800 pieces as well. So we'll go ahead and open those up. Open that up as well. So two Mini GTs to look at. A couple of Greenlight cars that I picked up from SC Diecast. I don't know if we're going to open up these or not. I may save these and try to make a 10-car Tuesday out of some Greenlight eventually. So you got this right here, Dodge B100. From the Running on Empty Series 7, which really is insanity that they're already on Series 7 of Running on Empty. That's like, when did they first start releasing that? It had to be like maybe 2 years, so that's crazy that they're already on Series 7 to me. Another one that's kind of weird, they're on Series 8 of Club VW, and I picked up two of those from them. We got a classic Volkswagen Beetle, which is the City of St. John Police, so police. Classic Volkswagen Beetle, which looks pretty cool. And then this one here, which is a VW Type 2 panel van in Golf livery. These will probably be part of a 10-car Tuesday, because I could do a VW Bus 10-car Tuesday for sure from Greenlight. I have a bunch of those yet still in the package. So I probably won't open up any of those three in this next segment. One that I probably will open up is this. I got this from my buddy Jeremy. This is a green machine. I just needed an example of this casting, and we just worked out a little small trade right there at the meet for this 1982 Ford 5610. I'm like, well, if I'm going to get an example of this casting, I guess I might as well get the green machine. Wasn't too pumped to see the Down on the Farm series from Greenlight, that they were doing tractors. I know there were some people that were kind of excited about that. Collecting tractors really aren't my thing, but I do want an example of every Greenlight tooling, and if I want an example of every Greenlight tooling, I guess I have to get the tractors. So I got this one. I think there's, I don't know what else, how many different toolings of tractors they have. I think there might only be two. And this is one of the two, and I guess I got a green body green machine out of it, so that's kind of cool. I think we'll open up that one for sure. Another one we're definitely going to open up in the second segment is this. This is from my buddy Neil. Worked out a little trade for this piece. I never found any of these when these came out. and I was collecting. I just never found, like, I don't think this Retro Entertainment series came to my location at all, and if it did, I never saw any of them. But this is the Friday Night Lights Chevy Silverado. Very cool to finally have this, so I'm going to go ahead and open up that in the next segment. This has become quite an expensive piece if you're searching on eBay for it. Just crazy expensive, actually, for what it is. I mean, it's a Retro Entertainment and Friday Night Lights, you know, whatever, but it's just because it's the Chevy Silverado, and it's a lifted Silverado, and they haven't released many of that lifted Silverado, so haven't released many different versions of it, I should say. All right, so that stuff for sure we're going to open. I picked up a couple of 5-packs. This is from my buddy Aiken. He's in my local club, and he's also in the Milwaukee club. So a couple of Ferrari 5-packs. We got this one here. The main reason why I wanted these was for the Testarossas in them. I mean, of course, I'm going to keep the other cars, but the Testarossas were the main reason. So that red Testarossa, that's a 5-pack exclusive, and then this blue Testarossa is also a 5-pack exclusive. But some really cool cars in here, for sure. I don't know if I'm going to open these up. I don't think I'm going to in the second segment. This actually right here is like a 10-car Tuesday on its own. And frankly, right now, I just don't really have much room for these cars right now, so where I store my Ferraris, so I may have to wait on those. So there's that. Oh, also from him, I picked up this little guy right here. This we will open. This is a Lamborghini, and it is a Tomy. It's like the basic version, and I'm trying to get the scale. See if I can see the scale. You might have to wait till I just open it up, but that's pretty cool. So we'll open that up and take a look at that in the second segment. And let's see what else. I think these will open up for sure. These are the Zamax, the Skyline, the Volkswagen Käfer Racer, and the 65 Mustang 2+2 Fastback. These did not hit my local Walmart. They hit somewhere else, and one of my club members picked up a ton of them. And then my buddy Crazy Todd worked out a trade for like 8 sets of them to kind of distribute amongst our buddies here. So he hooked me up with a set, so I appreciate that, Todd. And we will go ahead and open up these in the second segment, as well as we might as well open up these 2 Matchboxes and this cool combi as well. So Urban Outlaw cool combi. Somebody had one of these. I haven't found one of these yet. I'm sure I will come across them, but just nice to check this off the want list. And then these 2 Matchboxes, the 51 Hudson Hornet and this really cool 85 Porsche 911 Rally. Matchbox mainline's got these for $1 at the meet, so can't go wrong. Got those. And then I got some other Matchbox. This Matchbox will be reserved for a future 10-car Tuesday, likely, which I'll just kind of show you. There is one that I'm not keeping. This one is going to my buddy Suresh. He wanted this white Mini. I think he's trying to get all the variations of this Mini, so I will hook him up with that. So I'll set that aside so we don't accidentally put it somewhere else. I got a couple of Volkswagen Beetles. Matchbox. I think I paid these. Some of these are marked $2, but I paid $1 a piece for each one of these. 2 Dodge Monaco police cars. Both of those are pretty neat. Let's see what else we got. This Porsche 911 GT3 in this crazy green color scheme. Picked up that. Another Mini Cooper in blue. Volkswagen bus. This cool yellow GTO. Pretty awesome. Shout out to KP's Toys. Let's see here. This thing's on a roach thing, but this is a 97 Chevy Tahoe. Volkswagen Type 181. And let's see here. Cadillac Eldorado. This thing's sweet. And probably, honestly, the coolest of the bunch is this 1961 Jaguar E-Type Coupe in red. which I did not have it in red. So that was a cool one to get. And who doesn't like an E-type Jag? All right, so this we're not going to open. This stuff we're not going to open. That stuff we are. Let's go ahead and flip the camera around. We'll take a look at some of this stuff close up, mainly some Mini GT, some large Greenlight castings, that lifted Chevy Silverado, a couple of mainline Hot Wheels, a Tomica, and some Matchbox. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so let's first take a look at this McLaren Mini GT Senna, or McLaren Senna by Mini GT, or TSM model, scale miniatures, and 1/64 scale. So this was the one, the first color that I got. This was, I've shown this on another video, another Diecast weekly video, a previous one a while back. Really cool casting. I said I was very, very impressed with the construction quality of this. So I wasn't going to get another color of it, but I decided to get this orange one because it was available, and it was available from my buddies, SC Diecast. So was definitely difficult to pass it up, and I think I'm going to like this orange color just a little bit better. Again, if you're not familiar, Mini GT comes with these boxes, not unlike Auto World cars, which it does come with this plastic thing too that's holding it in the package. But the really cool thing is when you open up this box, it actually comes with a plastic insert in the box that holds the casting perfectly and prevents it from rubbing and moving around in the box. So this is probably the coolest packaging I've ever seen in a die-cast model. That it comes in that clamshell packaging like that with this box option to store the casting should you need to. So that is absolutely great. I love that idea. I think that is fantastic. That's one of the cool things about Auto World 2, so you can store the cars in the boxes, and the plastic inserts fit right in the box. But enough about packaging. But that is really cool. All right, so let's take a look at this orange one. Of course, the construction is going to be identical. The only thing that's different about this is going to be the color itself. And yeah, that does look pretty sharp in orange. I should also mention that there are chases of this car, of these cars. At least the chase with this one actually has black rims, I guess. So I don't know a whole lot about the Mini GT Chase program, or if it's just a Miho exclusive thing. But there are chases for some of these models. And I don't know what the chases are limited to. If anybody does know, please comment in the comment section below. But man, this is a really cool casting. I took some really cool pictures of the blue one, and I put that on my Instagram. And got a lot of positive response from it. I will admit this is not the most gracefully styled supercar at all. It's very angular. It's got some weird odd angles to it. It's not very pretty, but it does look pretty futuristic, and it does look very, very mean. It looks like a fighter jet almost. And man, in orange, I think it looks a lot cooler than this kind of oddball color blue. But the oddball color blue does look really good as well. It's just a very different shade of blue that you don't see too often in a vehicle. This orange, again, is actually kind of a weirder shade of orange as well, but maybe more appropriate for a supercar. I would actually really like to get the version of this in white. That's the one that's kind of more expensive to get because I think it was a Hong Kong exclusive. But in white, I think it would be the coolest color for this. But we're going to have to settle for in orange. So I got two of them now. I don't think I'm going to get the white one. I think this is enough to have both variations of this. But yeah, I'm happy with it. And the construction of these is so fantastic. Metal base, metal body. There's not a flaw on this car. I don't see any issues with it. It's just beautifully done, and it's very solid construction. This plastic wing is like super hard plastic. It's not cheap. It doesn't feel cheap at all. So I'm hoping we're going to get the same kind of quality with this Mini GT Liberty Walk GTR. So I haven't picked up any of these GTRs yet. These have come up in several different colors, mainly because I just haven't really liked the way that they look. But this white one looks so striking to me that I just had to have it. And I was like, yep, so this is the one I'm going to get. So kind of with Mini GT, I want to get an example of castings that they put out, a lot of them, but I will wait for the color, for it to come out in the color that I'm interested in. And this was the color that I thought looked amazing. So, TSM model B203. Are these numbered? There's not. That is not on the Mio exclusive, the other Mio exclusive one. But this one's got that on it. I don't know what that's about. Someone else will have to let me know. But this should have the same style packaging before we get into the car, where we can open it up. Yep, and it does. It's got that plastic insert built into it. So that is, again, top notch as far as that goes. It's really nice to be able to store your cars, especially if you got to move or, you know, do anything like that, to have a nice box to put them in, easily pack them. And here is the model. All right, so this is pretty interesting. Right off of the bat, I feel the mirrors are like a flexible rubber. So I don't want to play with them too much. The back wing is that hard plastic, just like on the McLaren. The tail lights are inserts. That's not just painted. So the tail lights are inserts. It is a metal body. It is a metal base. It is screwed together like the other one. It rolls. It's got rubber tires that are fairly of a soft rubber, although the rims are large and the tires are very low profile, so it doesn't feel that soft. We got lens detail up front for the headlights. And yeah, I mean, plenty of detail and a very, very nice looking, very well constructed vehicle. The only other time that I've seen these rubber mirrors, the McLaren does not have it, by the way. The McLaren's mirrors are metal and they're part of the body casting. These are like a rubber. The only time I've ever seen that before is from Tarmac Works. On some of their more basic castings, I've seen those rubber mirrors, which is kind of cool, because if you do store this in a jammer or whatever, and it bumps up against there, it's not going to chip any paint off of that, and it's also not going to break the mirror off, because the mirror has some give to it, and it is flexible. So what do you guys think about this GTR? I like it. I like it quite a bit. Okay, so now that we're through the Mini GT, let's take a look at this Tomica basic Lamborghini Aventador. Ooh, that came off nice and clean. So I think this is this Dubai Police? It looks like it. I mean, it looks like that color. They have green and white, right? Number 87. This is a basic Tomica. It's got suspension, which is really cool. Overall, pretty nice looking little Lambo. Plastic base on this one, plastic tires, Lamborghini Aventador LP 700-4, made in Vietnam. Tomica, Tomi. Looks like a copyright date of 2012. It's in 1/68 scale. This thing's sweet though. It's really cool. I've kind of strayed away from the real basic Tomica because frankly some of them just don't look all that good in my opinion. The older basic Tomica, like the Tomica pocket cars and stuff like that, are really cool. I like those a lot, but some of the newer stuff, I mean, this looks really nice, don't get me wrong, but there are some basic Tomica that just don't do it for me, even though they're kind of cars that I like. So some of them just look really weird and out of proportion, and this car though looks pretty good, so I had to grab it. When I saw it at my local meet, I'm like, from Aiken, I'm like, oh, come on, that's cool to find locally for cheap. So very awesome. All right, so there's that. Really quick, I guess we'll look at this Ferrari Testarossa. This thing's wild, man. There's a lot of variations of this California custom car. There's quite a few. Most of them vary. There's a wheel variation. Not all of them had this turbine wheel. Some of them have most of them have a rubber tire. The difference is in the interior color combination. This one has a yellow, I guess, back piece, and then which is part of the interior and dashboard, and then like a pink seat situation going on. There's a blue that could be thrown in there. So between those 3 different colors, like in the plastics being able to be different, all of the 3 different colors, you can imagine how many combinations there are. And then you throw in a wheel variation into that too. So there's a lot of different ones. And I think there is also a tampo variation on the windshield for some of them. So yeah, anyway, a lot of them to collect. I've got, I think, like 3 or 4 of them. So not all of them, but a couple. And anytime I see this car, these California Custom Testarossas, anytime I see them inexpensive and they're easy to get, they're in great shape, I will pick them up. So picked up that one. All right, that's that. And let's see here. Let's do this guy. Chevy Silverado. It's kind of a blast from when I kind of first started collecting, I think, is when these were starting to come out. Maybe a little bit after. Never got one until now. And I'm glad to have it now and be able to get it when the prices on it are, yeah, quite frankly, ridiculous. But it is a really cool truck, and it is very well done. It's everything you'd want in a die-cast model. It is very basically detailed as far as there's no crazy graphics on it, nothing like that. It does have full deco, so you do get headlights, you do get tail lights. It's in a very stock Chevy Silverado look, and it's lifted. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much more you could want out of it. They really have not used the lifted Silverado very much, which is kind of a surprise. I would think that they would put this out, maybe in something. I know there's been a convention model of it, right? I think there has, and I know there's been an RLC model of it. So, and I don't know, besides that, and then there was that off-road series and this one. I don't think there has been much more than that. So this is kind of due to come out. So I'm going to the convention this upcoming week, and it would be really cool to see. Maybe this is the casting that will be the finale car. I doubt it will be, but I wouldn't be upset about it if it was. So maybe that's a little wishful thinking. I'm trying to think of what casting would be the coolest one to be the finale car, but this one I would definitely not be upset about it if it was. Pretty awesome. It's a really cool casting, and nice, cool, lifted, heavy Hot Wheels model. I love the heavy Hot Wheels models. So awesome. Glad to get it. Glad to add it. All right, let's stick with Hot Wheels for just a second. Let's bust this main line open here. Not much to look at this. Urban Outlaw, cool combi, and kind of a matte finish blue. Looks pretty good. Probably snag a few of these if I find them. These are just cool little things, and they're just cool for customs and stuff like that. You can do a lot of cool stuff with a little cool combi, and I mean, who doesn't like that casting? It's just a cool casting. So probably pick up a couple of those when I come across them. It's cool too because these have a chrome base and they have a clear glass, or a clear windshield. So for customs, if I ever get back into customizing, that's kind of what you want, is those neutral colors, and you have to do less work then, especially with the windshield, because if you get a clear windshield, that's the best. If it's some weird colored windshield, then that sometimes can be tough to work with and just leaves it not as open to options. So there's that. And then let's see here, we got the Zamax. Just take these real quick here. The R33 Nissan Skyline. I'm going to open up all 3 of these real quick. We don't really need to get too deep here. This Cape Eraser was definitely a must-have for me. Both of these were a must-have for me as far as the Zamax go. This third one, this Mustang 2+2 Fastback, it's a cool Mustang casting. I do have the Super Treasure Hunt of it. That came out a while back, and I don't know, this one looks alright with this kind of like purple interior Zamac look. I don't know, it's kind of neat, but not nearly as cool as this Moon Eyes with the yellow windshield. Just looks awesome. Really dig that casting. That casting is super cool. I know there's one of those that I'll never have. So that's not a casting I'll be able to get all of. Maybe eventually I'll be able to get it. And then there's this one. This looks nice in Zamac. It's got rear detail. I like it. And, of course, that's going to be one to grab a ton of if you ever find them, because people are JDM crazy, and this counts. So, is what it is. I got one set, and I'm happy with it. Happy with having one set. Happy I didn't have to really worry about it too much. This is the 51 Hudson Hornet from Matchbox. Take a peek at that. What is that? Matchbox County Police. I don't know where Matchbox County is. It would be cool to go visit Matchbox County sometime. And hopefully not get pulled over by one of these. But a really cool casting. I love this old style Hudson Hornet. It's just a really cool Matchbox. Matchbox, does a great job. Some people are really against this like gray base and gray thing. They'd rather have chrome. I got mixed feelings about it. I do like just the gray. And mainly because the chrome really can wear off quite easily and can become flawed quite easily because it's just a coating on a plastic, and it's not, this plastic is actually made of this gray plastic or whatever. It's inherently gray, so you can't really rub off the gray. I don't know. So it holds up a little bit nicer, and it just looks more appropriate for a base of a car for sure. But I don't know. It's a trade-off. But I like this car. I think it's cool. It's cool color blue, too. And then this guy right here was definitely a must-have, this 85 Porsche 911 Rally. If I do see any more of these, I'll probably pick up a couple to have. I'm a Porsche collector. I love collecting Porsche diecast 1/64 scale. And so this was absolutely a must-have for me. And it's cool that Matchbox, instead of just coming out with the Porsche 911 and doing whatever, they came out with this Baja version. Just something a little bit different, to set them apart from the big blue brother Hot Wheels. And this casting is really cool. This is a new casting for this year. I don't know. I think that's awesome. I enjoy it. Like I said, it's something different. It's just something different in a Porsche model. So, really cool. All right, so like that. Do they put the scales on? I always got to look, because sometimes Matchbox will put scales on the bottom. I don't know if they do that on any of the recent cars. I may be... No, they don't. And they used to. They used to put scales on the bottom. Do you see it anywhere? No. So they're not all perfectly 1/64 scale. They used to put scales on the bottom. All right, so we got 3 more cars to look at, and they're all Greenlight. Let's start with this Green Machine 1982 Ford 5610 before we have to zoom out for the big ones. This is from Down on the Farm, Series 1. Here's this old Ford tractor for you to look at. I don't know. It's kind of neat. Where I'm from here, there are some people that restore these old tractors, and they like doing it. And so it's kind of an interesting thing. I'm just not into, I don't know, this type of stuff. I'm curious as to how accurately 1/64 scale these tractors are. And I'm guessing just by, the only thing that I have as a cue, obviously, is the size of the seat that the person would sit on. And yeah, I think that chair looks about 1/64 scale. If you look at this, which I'm not 100, now these are 1/64 scale. I don't know if they make the claim that these are true 1/64, but judging by the size of the seats in there, it could be, this could be accurate to 1/64 scale. Most Greenlight stuff, I think, is accurate to 1/64 scale. There are, however, a couple of things that aren't. I know, and I'm sorry that I can't think of much off the top of my head, but I know there's some castings that really are not. So, but this is cool. It's a Green Machine. Does it got a number on it? It probably did. It looks like, I don't know. It's tough. Oh, does this articulate? It does. Look at that. It is very light. There's not a lot of metal here. Well, the whole body basically is metal, but most of it is anyway. Yeah, I think all of it is, but it just, These fenders, these are plastic. This is plastic. That's plastic. That's plastic. Plastic. Is this, yeah, this little crossbeam thing I think is plastic too. There's a lot of plastic going on. It's very, very light weight. Does not weigh a lot. So, I don't know. Greenlight does some cool stuff though. You cannot fault them for doing something like this because they just hit a niche that you just don't get from other diecast manufacturers. You're not going to see Mini GT coming out with some sweet tractors, you know what I mean? So, or any other brand for that much. There's no other brand that would really fit this besides, you know, Erdl or whatever. Tonka, Erdl, yeah. So it's kind of cool that they do it. And same thing with these. I mean, it's really cool that they do these Super Duty trucks. So let's start with the Mack 2019 Mack LR Refuse. This must be a new tooling because it says 2019 on it. I'm thinking it is. One trick with these, by the way, you save this little insert thing right here, and then you cut around this so that you can take this part of it off. It's going to be hard to show you here on camera, but basically I'd make another cut up on the top right here, cut this off, and then what you can do is if you have to store these, you could put them in here and then put this over the top, and then you could maybe throw a piece of tape on there if you wanted to, but that will hold them in really good and kind of protect them. So if you ever need to save them in case you want to ship them, or like I said, in case you need to move or need to move your collection around, it's nice to have storage options. So that is a cool thing. Let's see if I can get this out of here. All right. So I know nothing about this casting. I haven't seen anybody else review it. I'm sure some others may have. So I don't know what all moves on here and stuff. The cab of it is, right off the bat, is metal. The refuse piece of it in the back here is plastic. The base appears to be metal. We got some dualies on the bottom there. It's big. I mean, it's really big. Look at the McLaren next to it. So it probably is pretty close to 1/64 scale. I'm sure this back piece, looks like we got a couple. Ooh, okay, so this comes down. That articulates down, right, to pick up the big dumpster. So, and then it would spill it in the back. So does the back open? I don't know what all opens and what doesn't on this thing, but it looks really cool. Does this open or not? Sorry, maybe I should have kind of looked this up and figured it out before starting to film. I don't think it does. If I'm wrong and somebody else has one of these, of course let me know. It appears that this top piece is glued right here. You can kind of see some of the glue. So it appears that this is glued and is stuck down. We got a ladder on the side here. This little bar thing on the top, which I think would pull this door open in the real world, and this thing would dump right in here. I think the only articulating part, though, is this front piece, which feels very fragile, by the way. And that is the thing with a lot of these bigger trucks from Greenlight. A lot of the little plastic pieces and stuff like that feel very fragile. I don't want to say necessarily cheap. They just feel like they're very, very fragile. But all in all, there's a great amount of detail on this. Nice basic truck. If you wanted to, you could make a decal of your favorite recycling company and go ahead and throw it on the side there. Yeah, probably won't be doing that. But really cool. You got the mud flaps there that say Mack on them. And all in all, it's a well done 1/64 scale garbage truck. It looks like a recycling truck because it's green. At least that's what the recycling trucks in my area look like. All right, so next we got this guy, the 2019 Mack Anthem Highway Long Haul. Yeah. All right, so this one is the one I was actually really excited about. Is this long haul one? And again, I'm gonna save this this piece of packaging right here for future storage options if I need to store it. And here it is. All right. So this one, big chunk of metal. This whole cab situation is metal, which leads me to believe the base is plastic. And yes, it is. Weird. Look at that screw that's in there. That screw ain't brown. That is rust. That screw is rusty. That's kind of strange. I've never seen a rusty screw put into a piece of diecast before. Oh, and this one is number 3371. I didn't take a look at the bottom of the refuse truck. 2980 on that refuse truck, in case you care about numbers. This thing is sweet, though. Oh, we got a tire issue. I'm sure that's going to be easy to fix right here. Yep, done. Again, lots of detail. Even got like the little silver painted mirrors there to give it sort of a reflective look. Even got the little dog right there on the front hood ornament. Again, there are pieces on this thing that are very, very, very fragile. Feel very fragile. This is not a toy. This is a display piece. Okay, it's a toy car, right? But no, this is not a toy. You cannot let a kid play with this. It will be destroyed in seconds, for sure. There's just way too many plastic little fragile pieces and parts. So unless your child is very, very careful with his toys, this thing is going to break. It'd break the instant you throw it into a toy box. But that's not for that purpose. And it's put together with a rusty screw. So hopefully you get your tetanus shots. But yeah, it's a really cool casting, though. I really do like it. It'd be cool to get a trailer to go along with it, but I don't really know that it's necessary. Which I'm surprised. I think Greenlight has come out with a 1/64 scale full-size truck before. I had this crazy idea for Greenlight. And tell me if you guys think this is insanity. I think it would be cool if they came out with a 1/64 scale like jumbo jet. Is that weird? Or like a plane, something? Like, it's cool, like if you're a diorama builder especially, if you want to build dioramas and you want like city scenes or an airport scene or like something, like it'd be really cool to kind of have 1/64 scale everything. 1/64 scale is like a weird scale where it's great and super popular with like collecting cars and stuff like that, but it's not super popular when it comes to like trains and dioramas. So it's not always, you know, in the train, I would say the train hobby, like HO scale and stuff like that, really dominates the diorama scene as far as what is available for trees and buildings and all that other stuff. The 1/64 scale is not really as popular, obviously, in that scene, because I don't know if they make trains in 1/64. I don't think they do. But, so that's kind of what makes the diorama thing a little bit challenging as far as for options. So I think it would be cool if Greenlight would really kind of fill that niche and kind of make more diorama pieces. I mean, they already do it with the gas stations and stuff like that. But if they did like a full like city or world of vehicles, like some airplanes, you know, is that weird? Would you buy a jumbo jet? Would you be excited about a Supermax 8? Green Machine? I don't know. I would have to get one for sure. And it'd be crazy to see how big they are in actual 1/64 scale. All right, so that's it. That's a little rant. But pretty cool stuff here, guys. That's going to be it for this video. My favorite piece of the day is that Liberty Walk GTR. I think that is very awesome. And then my second favorite piece is probably this Mack truck. It looks really cool. These actually look pretty cool next to each other for whatever reason. All right, so thank you guys very much for watching again. Thank you for watching another weekly episode, another long one. The next one you see, I will probably film at the Hot Wheels convention. No guarantees that that's actually what's going to happen. I already have a load of stuff for the next episode, so that stuff will probably wait a week, and then I'll show it in the next one, the week following the convention. But we shall see. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching the channel. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please comment. And thank you very much.